Golden State Warriors take a 2-0 lead against the Houston Rockets, and many things stand out. One of the things that stand out is, of course, and what we really didn't expect is Houston getting out rebounded by the Golden State Warriors in terms of the offensive glass. The Warriors had 18 offensive rebounds. The Warriors had 14 extra possessions. They had 91 extra. They had 91 possessions to Houston's 77. So that's 14 extra possessions where they could score, get put back, dunks and everything like that. KD had 29. James Harden had 29. But one of the things that I think is going um, really not noticed or unnoticed is the fact that the Golden State Warriors are putting the clamps on the Houston Rockets. They're clamping them up in every single aspect of the game, which is like rebounds, um, shot consistency, getting the certain shots that you want. Even like game two, Houston shot like 42% from three, but 46% overall, and they shot 17 from 40 from the 3 point line. Yeah, Houston had a bunch of turnovers, but a lot of those turnovers are coming from that defense that the Golden State Warriors are putting on them. Last year, you guys remember in their 7 game series, everybody was talking about how Houston had the Warriors all out of sorts, and the Warriors would turn over the ball, and Houston was switching everything. Well, Warriors are doing that times 10 with their Hamptons five lineup. The thing that we have to understand and why many are saying the series is over, and I picked Houston in 7, which might be a big faux pas on my part. I just thought that this year was their year to make up for everything. They would talk a lot of smack, and usually when you call out somebody, you're ready to ball out with them. I thought that the Houston Rockets would their game would transfer and translate into the postseason. Against Utah, they look great, but then now playing Golden State Warriors is a different animal, different kind of beast. And that being said, they're not. It's not looking good because in order for this to be a 7 game series, in my opinion, Houston had to win game two. You can't let Golden State go up 2-0 on you and think that they're gonna lay a dud in game three just because you're going home. The Golden State Warriors played against and I think the worst thing that could happen to Houston Rockets, two things: Boogie going down because you're not able to exploit him in the pick and roll, and the Golden State Warriors not sweeping the Clippers. The fact that the Golden State Warriors had this bad taste in their mouth about playing the Clippers, taking it to a 6 game series, they know they can't slip up not for one instance. So that being said, they're not gonna take anything lightly. They're not gonna take anything for granted. When you have a what do they say? What is it? A hungry dog or whatever the case is like there's a saying that says something about like a hungry dog. Like a hungry dog is the one that's is gonna hustle the most because they're very hungry or whatever. And the Golden State Warriors, they're very hungry to be defending champs, to be playing like this, to play defense like this, to force turnovers, to get offensive rebounds. They're showing that they're more hungry. They're hungrier than Houston. And it's the funny part about it all is Houston's not playing poor. Like game one, I felt like they played poorly because they're looking for fouls, but that game was close. Game two, they didn't really play that bad. Harden had 29 points, 9 for 19 with his injury. CP3 had 18 points. He didn't shoot the ball necessarily 100% well, but he went 6 for 14. It's only almost like about 45% or something like that. PJ Tucker, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Clint Capella, 14 points, 10 rebounds. If you just read off these stat lines, you're like, okay, this is either a competitive game or might have went to overtime, whatever the case is. But nope. Nope. And that's because it's just not enough. And I think what their problem is they're trying to get into a scoring duel and outdo the Warriors offensively. That's not gonna happen. You have to play defense like you did last season. But the fact that they let the Warriors get 2 shots in a row, I mean 2 wins in a row, especially on home, you needed one road victory to make this a 7 game series. The fact that now it's like essentially, the best of five and you're down two, it's not looking too good. And I'm just gonna keep it funky because you let them get comfortable. The Warriors are comfortable now. Whatever they're doing, they're comfortable in it. And you see it with Kevin Durant playing the way he's playing. Even Stephen Curry's not playing that well. He's defending. He's taking charges. Clay's hitting shots here and there. Andre Iguodala's playing really well. That right there is nothing to play with. And the fact that they're locked in defensively means you're done. It would be one thing if offensively they're scoring and you can score, you keep pace. But when the Golden State Warriors are locked in defensively, you're in trouble. I saw they try to run a lot of pick and rolls with James Harden and Steph Curry, and Steph kept floating either Clay or Iguodala for the pick, or Draymond. They perfected that little handoff, switch off, or whatever the case is. And the problem with that with Houston is now you're down into the shot clock, and now you have to burp up a bad shot because you've been waiting for this pick and roll for so long. The Houston Rockets need to figure something else out regarding their pick and roll situation, because that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Now, when you're looking at the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks series, I think that the Celtics are in good shape. A lot of people might be like, "Oh, like they got beat up in Game 2." Here's the thing, guys. The Bucks could not lose Game 2. It was all or nothing for them. They had to win Game 2. That being said, the Celtics are in great shape because not only did they steal home court, the next 2 games are on their home floor. So now the Bucks have to definitely make sure they win one on the road, for it to be even series. So this had the potential to be a 7-game series, and it might be boiling down to whatever Kyrie does at the end of it, or whatever Giannis does. Giannis was dominant. He was hitting threes. He hit a three, and finally all the other Milwaukee Bucks woke up, and they were the ancillary parts that they're used to. I don't want people to overreact to the Celtics losing this game, because essentially after they saw that they were getting whooped on, they just like packed it in. I'm gonna say this though: Jason Tatum is not playing exceptionally well. Jaylen Brown he played well Game 1, but not Game 2. Everybody's sporadic on the Celtics, but the thing is like, I think the reason they're sporadic is because their back isn't against the wall. Like, it's a tied series. So that being said, if their back isn't really against the wall and it's a tied series and they're going back home, I feel like they had a tendency to relax Game 2, so to speak. They just took it for granted. I'm just going to be funky with you. Kyrie went 4 for 18. He just didn't have it that night. And that's fine, because you already got the split. The Bucks gave up the split. So, and that's like the worst thing you could possibly do, especially when you're the the number 1 seed. Like when the Warriors gave up the split, now you automatically knew it's going to be a 5 or 6 game series. Now you're drawing it out. So I think people like the Bucks, and they have every right to be confident in them. But I think going forward, the games aren't going to be these big blowouts. This reminds me of the Spurs versus the Heat in 2013, 2014, and stuff like that, where all the time, like, every game was a blowout, except for like the last couple. But these 2 blowouts, Game 1 and Game 2, this is not going to be indicative of the series. It's going to be closer games, and in closer games, the cream rises to the top. The people who have jump shots are going to rise to the top, and that's the Boston Celtics. They have, to me, Milwaukee has more shooters in terms of spot up shooters, but Boston has more players that can shoot off the dribble and make plays. And to me, that's more important. So that's my take on that. Hoops Junction, where hoops meets hoopla. Like, comment, and subscribe.